Good morning. I wanted to start at the quick look at the national level. The Federal Reserve is indicating that they are seeing a modest increase in loan demand. Some firms are actually, they're starting to borrow. They're getting off the fence. They're finishing those capital improvement plans and those expansion plans that they've had to shelve for a while. Some banks are noting increased competitive pressure when it comes to pricing. And banks in general are noting an improvement in credit quality, but the credit standards within those institutions are largely remaining the same. Here locally, like most lenders, we are looking at all product types. We remain a little cautious with land. Our local commercial real estate department, we look at projects $3 million and over. In the last couple of years, we've financed transactions as high as $19 million. So we have the ability and capacity to handle those larger transactions. Currently, we're primarily seeing construction for multifamily and retail. And in the retail, we're seeing some smaller projects, about 10,000 square feet or so. They're finishing construction and changing hands. So there is some acquisition opportunity there as well. The market is seeing some of the large home builders come back, as we've just heard. And to give it a snapshot of what our shop looks like, statewide, we have, at June 30th, we have financed roughly over, it's about $530 million, all loan types. Our local real estate shop, we finance year-to-date $100 million, and that's a 50-50 split. $50 million here in Tucson and $50 million in the Zion's footprint, which is primarily the western U.S. Probably the biggest challenge right now, as has been mentioned by some other speakers, is the increased rates. We've seen treasuries increase 90 to 100 basis points, so that is affecting the longer-term financing. However, your shorter-term and your bridge financing rates are remaining relatively stable. That said, the rates still remain a very, below 6, below 5.5, still very good rates. Current loan structures that we're seeing include construction with some level of mini-perm. In general, we are seeing a project get through construction, some level of stabilization, and then often being taken out to CMBS or life markets so that they can lock in that rate and term. Facilities are generally LIBOR-based in pricing, and we do want to see some level of guarantee. Now, keep in mind, not every guarantee looks the same. That structure is highly dependent on the project, the developer, the financial stability, and the expertise. And outside of the guarantee, we are going to look for alternative sources of cash flow. And the reason for that is if your project has a hiccup, we want to see that there is cash flow outside of that project that can help sustain that project. And as far as term, in general, we are seeing terms of generally 3 to 5 years, although we have financed 7 to 10 years on our real estate group on a selective basis. So there's your brief snapshot of the finance. Thank you for having me today.